but I don't know how many of you will. It's been a spicy minute. They do ABA, which is conversion therapy for autistic people to make us as normal. Ah! Okay. You can have an OC question. Ask me your OC question. I might have an OC answer. Music down a little bit. It's a little loud. We grew out cool mythosaur from Star Wars are. Forgot the name of the literal dinosaur. Most Mandalorians rode in space. Mythosaurs are rad. I love them. They're so cool. Theoretically, if I had a furry that was a dog and they had a pet that was also a dog, would that be weird? That's kind of the fucking Pluto dilemma, isn't it? I don't think Keaton's lived in Orange County. No. I'm not a... Yeah, I don't... Yeah, it's a little bit of a goofy Pluto dilemma. But yeah, I don't know if how many of you, remember this one. How many of you were around for, let me open up the, let me open up the one we finished. How many of you were here for when we were working on Checkmates? Which is going to get a new name. Given the way that I changed the concept, I think that name doesn't really fit anymore. But our chess-based visual novel. Except for the chess pile. This isn't gonna be, this isn't gonna be that kind of game. Chess-based. Yeah. No, chess! Like the game. This isn't a dating sim so much as... I think a visual novel is a better example. Here, let me scooch my fucking mic. Little, there we go. Boob POV. This last time with Minskin Boo's Journal of Villainy was pre-Spelljammer. Nobody raised a stank this time. They had kids at the Autism Center about to be tortured, designed D&D monsters. Used kids about to be subjected to Geneva Conventions violations who appears ooh nice beans. It's disgusting. It's true. I mean, the question with stuff like that, though, is, like, how aware is WotC, in fairness? It's why 9 times out of 10 I don't, like... Big fan of humanized chess. I love this concept. This is something I'd really like to sit and take some time with. He's here!
He's here!
Sly Cooper is here.
Sly Cooper is here!
Brooke got one of the Sly Cooper plushies, and he finally showed up.
It's the Fangamer 20th anniversary Sly Cooper plush.
I love him.
I also love him.
He's a little scrunkly.
He's a little scrunkly.
His eyes are a little small and a little far apart.
A little bit, but...
Otherwise, he's cute. I like him.
His backpack can come off.
Ooh. Can it open?
Not really. I mean, it looks like it has a flap, but it doesn't.
Damn.
Because it's plush,
weak.
but then the cane has a magnet.
Ah! I like when they do magnets as opposed to the Velcro.
And it won't get, like, as fucked up over time.
Exactly.
He'll go in the plushie pile.
Making en passant. I thought about calling it en passant. Like the Twitter of people who told him the Seattle torture chamber, they would know. Fair enough. Listen, we give people the benefit of the doubt, and then when we prove that they don't deserve it, then they don't deserve it. Fair enough. So we have to do the knight, the rook, the queen, and the king.
Is it the black or the white pawn that eats the chess pieces?
It's the white one.
Excellent. Good for him.
We in there. Hello, Justin.
Justin also got his watch straps.
He did. We were supposed to... I kept getting advertised that fucking, Umami Cart service, and so we ordered a box, and that was supposed to be here today, but there was a shipping delay, so it'll be here tomorrow.
Oh man, Beer Bros have started the Resident Evil 2 remake, and it's Gerard and Brett. Thank God Gerard is here! I get to experience baby Leon saying, son of a bitch.
Bitch.
Anyway, continue.
I just realized how perfect tomorrow is.
Why is that?
'Cause I'll pick Jedi Fallen Order back up on May the 4th.
Yeah!
I didn't even think about that. Hadn't even considered it. What about the bishop? Oh, it is the bishop! It is the bishop. That's the one that we have to do. Because this is... She's the rook. That's right. Pawn, rook, knight, bishop, queen, king. That's right. That's right. That's right. That's right. That's right. You're right. You're right. You're right. You're right. You're right. I'm a fool. I'm dumb. Also, because I know that James was wondering. So we did start Murder on the Orient Express, and we got most of the way through it. We only have half an hour left, but my body's cringe, and about halfway through, about halfway through, I started having a panic attack, and then a little later on, my body just shut completely the fuck down, so... we have half an hour left, but I can tell you comfortably, I understand the appeal of this Poirot guy. I get it. I'm starting to see what you and Crafty see in this Poirot dude. The fucking cinematography in that movie is incredible. It's so cool. How'd you rate Kenneth Branagh's performance? He's Poirot, right? Poirot? If he's Poirot, he's immaculate. Absolutely wonderful. Every ounce of likability that they removed from Sherlock, they gave to Poirot, is the joke I made. His fucking tweedly mustache and his autism, I love him. What a guy. Thank you for the follow! I appreciate it immensely. My favorite not French man. Strong, sad dressed as Hercule Poirot for Homestar Runner Halloween episode. Way too fitting. Love him. Poirot! Didn't know, am I capable of playing Pong with your floating eyeballs? You could. They don't bounce very well. They're full of fluid, so... Because they're eyeballs. They just have a... hamburger. Hercule Poirot? Fucking absolutely loved, Willem Dafoe. Willem Dafoe's fucking killing it. Then again, I just love Willem Dafoe, so... If you poked one of them, would you feel the pain? I would. So I'd prefer if you didn't. A couple of people have asked if you were to walk up, you could just pull one out of the gravitational pull. I wouldn't really feel it. It's still connected to me, kinda, though. So I'd prefer if you didn't, but you could if you wanted to. What if I stole all of them and put them in a bag and flushed them down a toilet? I would see the inside of a bag. Like, I don't know. I grow new ones. I don't know what part you got to, so I don't want to spoil my favorite part about Defoe in the movie. Oh, we got to the reveal. And it's so good! And it's so good! Grow new ones? Yeah. The ones that are physically attached to me, I just grow new ones. I've talked about this before. You can't, like, hurt me in any way that matters. Like, you can hurt- my pain is temporary. Like, I can... Mean points at emotional damage? I guess. Motherfuckers really do want to try. Listen, I've had the occasional hero try. I've lived a couple lives. I've done a couple of things. That's how I know what my devil arm looks like. I've had a couple of motherfuckers try. Try implies the possibility of failing? Well, yeah. I don't, Please don't emotionally damage the Blorbo from my streams! Some of you are new, so you don't know. I don't, like, y'all know, like, canonically, I don't stay dead, right? Like, I die temporarily. I don't die permanently. I'll, if you kill me, I'll come back. Just like an Eldritch Beast you are, yeah. I don't, but you don't want to do that. Because I don't come back the same. The next me might not be so nice, you know? The first me wasn't particularly nice, and neither was the second. Thought you died. Rumors of my death were greatly exaggerated. It's closer to be like, yeah, I did. I got better.
Dude, I could go for some spicy chips right now, but my teeth and stomach would not be able to handle it right now. Anyway, how are you?
Doing okay. How are you, Susie?
I am having such a hard time breathing. I need something to clear out my sinuses.
You just
get you a neti pot, I guess.
Are you stuffed up?
Very.
Dude,
it's getting to the point where, like, I am waking up at, like, 3 in the morning because my nose is so stopped and I can't fucking breathe.
I have a recommendation, but it's not particularly pleasant.
Oh?
If you're, like... If you're big desperate and you don't have, like, a neti pot or, like, the physical means by which to unclog the sinuses, I would recommend, you get, like, do you have a bathtub?
Yeah.
I recommend you get the bathtub. You fill the bathtub up with the hottest water you possibly physically can stand. And then just stick your fucking head in it. Like, for as long as you possibly can, and do that repeatedly until until the steam and the heat helps clear out your sinuses. Or you can sit in a hot shower, that does it too. That's what I do. Is that good for me? Probably not, but it works.
Probably not good for your skin, but it'll help you breathe.
Go in a freezer? It'll make your nose run, but you wanna clear up the blockage. Steam's better for that. That's why you use a neti pot.
Why is your stream notification in your public chat spoiler tagged?
Because I accidentally copy-pasted it twice.
Silly Billy.
They got Infinity version. No Susie doll? No, I looked. Susie hasn't put in her,
I figured you were gonna line up doing that. Cause, like,
oh, I was, but you haven't given me the link yet.
Oh, like, what link am I gonna need?
I need to have your individual Fugitech link, otherwise I can't put it on stream.
Can't you do that through your own Fujitech?
I need your individual link. Once you give me your link, I can do it, but I just need the link.
I've been able to set up people's, like, doodles in my streams. But alright.
.360 vision literally just means you can see literally everything around them. Also, yes, I do have 360 vision. The eyes on my head can, like, rotate. Rotate. Banana.
Like a Mon Calamari?
Like a Mon Calamari, yeah. Which I suppose insinuates I'm a prey animal, but... Susie of Dodal Tones. Can your eyes go upside down? Yeah. I can look at the floor if I wanted to, or at the ceiling, I guess.
Yeah, I could set you guys... Like, set you guys as doodles already, like, just being in a call with you guys.
Oh, yeah, I can! You're right! I didn't fucking know that I could do that until just now. I didn't even think about that.
Yeah, I just looked back at it and I'm like, are you sure you need my link? Like,
Yeah, I
can
didn't...
do it, but...
I didn't know that I could do that. Hang on. Try sneaking around Heaton. Eyes on Heaton's antlers suddenly turn around. I have made an error. As long as I can hear you.
You can jump scare her. I have jump scared her just standing next to her and waiting for her to acknowledge my existence.
It's true.
Didn't I do that yesterday?
Yeah.
When I brought you the bacon?
All those...
Stood next to me because I had headphones on, I couldn't hear her, so when I turned to my right, because I thought I saw the cat, I turned to my right and Brooke was just there and she startled me.
All those eyes and can't see, how tall is your character, Brooke?
Like 7.5 feet tall.
7.5 feet tall cow lady.
She startled me! I was in the zone!
I'm just saying, all those eyes. And you still can't see a 7-foot tall cow lady. Shrug.
You don't have, the alert feat.
I don't.
Nor do you have observant.
Keaton as a Pokemon has Oblivious.
It's true. It's simply that I don't, I've talked about this before, because it's the same way that, like, if you make the pact, right? I don't see out of your eyes at all times of the day. I only see out of the ones I'm looking at any given second. It's like if you're completely surrounded by monitors, right? But you're watching a YouTube video on one of them, you're not gonna pay attention to the Discord feed on the other, you know? It's like that.
Suppose.
If I'm in my true form, then I can focus on all of them, but I don't go in my true form very often. It makes me very tired.
It's like, fair enough, I guess we won't know though, because I have refused to sign the pact.
Heaton POV drawing when? You want me- I'm a little confused by the concept. Do you want me to draw, like, what my point of view is like? I don't know if I physically could do that. I don't know if I could physically illustrate it. It's like, I suppose think of it like, oh, you know what? A perfect way to explain it. Think about I want you to picture in your head, like, a spider, right? Like how a spider sees different refractions of the same image in each of its eyes. It'd be like that, except each of the refractions is a completely different point of view.
Think of Venonat.
Yeah, so, like, think of a Venom- like, here, I'll just, real quick.
Or a fly.
Yeah. So, like, flies have, like, compound eyes, right? So each of these is its own individual eyeball. So think of it like that, except where all of these are seeing the same image, it's like they're all seeing one thing. My eyes are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So it's like each one of these compound eyeballs sees a different thing. Human beings, have a little bit of trouble, in my point of view. It's, I've had a couple of people try and take my powers for their own, and it's not worked out particularly well any of the times that they try. Your brains are simply not made for the level of input that I have to deal with on a regular basis. How painful would it be to microwave my eyes? Why are you talking about, like... Did I do something? Is that why you guys are so weirdly fixated on, like, causing me fucking ocular damage today? I mean, yeah.
We didn't.
I'm a weird, sad person. I mean, yeah, it would hurt. It'd hurt a lot. It'd hurt if I microwaved your eyeballs. If I pulled your eyes out and didn't sever your ocular nerve and stuck them in the microwave on medium heat for 30 seconds, it'd hurt like a motherfucker. It'd boil your fucking ocular fluid. Not me, I am being good. I don't know. Fucking, I'm sorry my metaphor for physical assault wasn't visceral enough for you. Would you rather I put it on the popcorn setting? What kind of fucking response is that?
Don't use the fucking popcorn setting. You never use the popcorn setting.
Then why is it there?
I don't know, I asked you that very same question. Don't flip the script on me.
If it's not for popcorn, then it's for eyeballs. That's how this works.
I don't want it to be for eyeballs. No, thank you.
Popcorn settings for bugs. Do you put a lot of bugs in the microwave, Eth? Are you, have you had a conversation with a therapist about your serial killer tendencies? If you've been putting fucking bugs in the microwave?
No, but as far as like all these questions about eyes and stuff, I don't. It's like just don't sign the pact, forehead. Be like me. Be like me. Was it Kate? Or did Caden finally like sign the pact? I don't remember.
Oh, Caden signed the pact.
Oh, okay. Okay, so I think I'm the only one in this friend group that has not been.
No, Aaron hasn't either.
Okay.
I mean, I technically haven't. I just get privileges because I'm a roommate.
Fair.
They've provided a temple for me to reside in, therefore they get perks.
You get power from signing the pact? Yes, but you can get power in other ways too.
Put the packet on the glass. Which glass? The little glass dish in the microwave. Swear I'm saying I just have weird questions. I'm sure.
I mean, you answer the weird questions, that just helps you flush out shit.
It's true, I guess. What do they eat? I wish we signed a cohabitation pact. It'd be easier to prove to the Feywild that I have proof of residency. We were joking about that, is that I have to get a new ID.
And I need to update my license.
But I need to have proof of residency, and the difference is that, my name is not on any paperwork, and I don't pay rent, so... I don't know how we're gonna prove that I live here. Probably my medication, like the last time. Must be
Justin
nice.
just probably needs to go in and put my name on the bills.
An ID. Ha 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 ha, wheeze. Must be nice having Keaton as your sugar mama. Well, you don't get money from signing with me. You get Eldritch powers, which you better use responsibly.
Oh, that's another reason why I shouldn't sign the pact.
Listen, we talked about this. You have to do, if you're gonna do time crimes, you have to be more sneaky about it, because if Aaron finds out, then I get yelled at.
Oh, please. It wouldn't be the time crimes that people would have to worry about.
What are the powers we get from you? What are the cons? What are the pros? I really need to, like... Welcome to another episode of things Heaton has to put on the website. Because I have, I made a Pact of the Eye thing, and I told you what you get. It's clairvoyance. I want to say it's clairvoyance, find steed. I'd have to pull it up, but I don't have it. You've changed your address with your bank, you just need a bank statement with a new address and a pay stub with it, and I think Twitch does that. I think so too. Gonna get our fucking haircut next week.
Finally, I can go back to being short and you can go back to being non-existent.
Yeah, God. My hair's almost to my shoulders now and I fucking hate it. I hate having long hair.
I just eventually need to get mine trimmed because holy shit, I can't remember the last time I actually had a haircut.
I had a conversation with, speaking of, like, adds it to the list. So we were talking about, I was talking to Dio yesterday, because I wasn't feeling particularly well. So a little insight into the world of my brain. I was talking about my brain's been really loud lately. And he's like, do you wanna share? So I was like, yeah, alright. And I filled up Discord's character limit twice. I've been thinking a lot about Bakar's relationship to the insurrection and Chrysos in particular, both immediately before the campaign and back during the original overthrowing of the First King. I think the two of them have a long, sordid history. I feel like they were close and had a massive falling out. They have similar mindsets. This motivated a thought about the original operation to overthrow the First King. I have a lot of thoughts about that. I think all of those dragons are still alive. I just think they're very different people now. I've been thinking about Rachel a lot more too, namely her rogues gallery. I think I'd like Valvari to be a villain properly for her alongside the father, Artorias' family, and Bunny. I have some thoughts about them in particular. Emil being trans, mask really jumped out at me, and those marbles are rolling around slowly and becoming orbular. Just need them to get shiny so I can see the pattern. I've been having thoughts about checkmates again. I need to design the White family, then drop the fucking relationship web. Justin said it'd be a bitch to program, and that sucks. I have a lot to think about it, mainly because of stuff like Amanda the Adventurer and a documentary I watched about Telltale's Poker Night. Playing Misao really galvanized going all the way around to doing RPG Maker shit for Magnum Opium. Maybe I'll look into another engine and I can mix genres. Wonder if that format would even work. I want to get the website up and going soon, but the website building's a mess. I can't get it to work. There's a lot to do. The ARG website could do some cool stuff, but if doing something as simple as the layout I want is for the main website is this difficult, I don't know what the fuck these other maniacs are doing. God, I want to go back to doing House of the Entities. I have a lot of little ideas I want to implement. I really want to tie Heaton into some stuff and do cool stuff with my platform, but that's a mess. I have my stupid animatic backlog. I promised myself I'd make one before the end of the year, but that takes so much fucking time. I keep seeing everyone else do lore videos and lore manga, and I really have a solid idea, but I don't have the fucking time or resources. I want to do voice claim videos, but that's a lot of asset making. I'd like to flesh out Cordelia's crew. I want to take my time making that laureate source book. I would have to sit down with another one to know roughly how they're formatted. I'd like to start doing merch designs, maybe. That sounds fun. Streamloots I want to make more Streamloots cards. Those are fun. I wish they'd work. People aren't buying them, though. Mermay, I'd love to do a subathon. I super don't have the stamina and I don't have an active enough viewer base. Commentaries, I want to write up some VTM and Hunter campaigns. I should really reformat those Animal Crossing campaigns for Monster of the Week. I don't know what to do with Maho Showdown. Watching all this Overwatch footage makes me want to put together a hero shooter, but that's a lot of work. I'd like to spend some time on Femme Fatality as well, since there's a few designs I'd like to rework completely. I have thoughts and conflicts about currently running D&D stuff. Ozra's still in the box, and I'm sad. Jeff is next to her in the box, and I'm sadder. I want to do something with Eve and Cersei, but fuck. There's also my current Star Wars OCs I'd like to do something with, and a bunch of stuff I'd like to write for Manhunt SMP lore, but Minecraft might be killing me, I am unsure. And so I responded with, it's all of that, all of the time, at every hour, I'm so tired.
Yeah. That's a mood.
Like, the easiest way to explain, like, one of the worst, symptoms of my mental illness is, well, actually, I'll do it like this. This is the best way to word it. When I was in college, hear me out, we had, for our writing assignments, our professor told us, like, he was cool. I loved him. He was one of the best teachers I had while in college. And he said, I don't do, like, assigned writing because it doesn't, like, amount to anything. It sucks for you, it sucks for me. So he gave us, like, I don't remember the exact number, but we'll say it's 10 pages. He said, you have to write me, like, 10 pages before the end of the semester. I don't care what it is. I don't care if it's poetry. I don't care if they're movie reviews. I don't care if they're scripts. I don't care what. You've got to just give me, you've just got to give me 10 pages total before the end of the semester. I was like, okay. I gave him I gave him 10 pages within, I think, a week and a half, and I think I had almost 25 by the end of the semester. Like, I brought in a new page almost every day. Sometimes more, sometimes less. And he looked at me and he goes, you know that, like, you don't need extra credit or anything, right? And I'm like, yeah. And he goes, so why do you keep bringing shit in? He's like, you're done. You don't need... He's like, you don't even need to be here for the rest of the semester. Why do you keep doing this? And I'm like, well, A, it's my favorite class, and B, I like getting the critique, and C, I like listening to everybody else's stuff.
Also, as if you're, like, a writer or something, shrug.
Yeah. And the two of us had a conversation, and he goes, and I'll never forget this, because the way he looked at me and said, it doesn't turn off for you, does it? And I shook my head and I said, no, it's like this all the time. It's just now I have an excuse to write it all down. And he nodded and he goes, do you want me to give you some advice? I said, yeah. And he goes, the rest of your life is gonna be hard for you. I was like, yeah? And he goes, yeah. He said, I've known quite a couple of people like you. And he goes, this is worse than never having any ideas at all. Because you'll never find enough hours in the day to write it all down. I'm like, yeah. And he's like, you gotta find a way to, like, manage it or it's gonna drive you nuts. And I'm like, you're not wrong, sir. And I think about that a lot, because he was right. Like, it's everything all the time. And every so often I'll go to bed and I'll wake up from a particularly cool dream, and so I'll write that down, and that adds more to the pile. Or I'll watch something I like and want to put together a fan project, and that'll add something to the pile. That's why the crazed creative trope is a thing, because it's real. Yeah. I don't have, like... I always have, like, a hard time explaining, like, why this sucks to people who... Because I've met very few people who experience it the same way that I do. Like, oh, hang on. You know what? I have... Let me open OneNote, because I had two. I'll just... Oh, I can't! Fuck! I was gonna say, I'll just use my phone, but I can't. Because I have a notebook on OneNote that I just keep. Yeah, I had 3 in the last week. So I woke up from my sleep and I wrote down, the first one I just labeled obstacle. Group of teenagers are randomly selected to participate in a secret tournament every night. They're given a location on their phone. They find a mysterious obstacle course and an object that they use as a weapon. Their weapon gives them an enhancement of some kind of animal. They have to clear as many levels before the sun rises to win a reward. Every level has a boss encounter they have to fight. Twist: the kids are fighting each other as boss encounters, but they don't show as they don't know their, quote, bosses take a monster form of the animal that their enhancement is for. If you beat the boss, the kid they represent dies. The main character has scissors and is a rabbit. Then the day after, I woke up from a dream and wrote down, retired femme fatale and local boy fail work with mysterious wizard to hunt monsters. Old school detective stylings, femme fatale and boy fail are partners. And then I think like a week later I got the other one. The Bonds Hotel. Massive log cabin style hotel built into a tree where all sorts of fantasy creatures come to rest. The hotel is on an island in an I don't know what this word is supposed to be. Hotel is on an island that can only be accessed when its guest needs it the most. A young woman in her 20s owns the hotel, passed down in her family for thousands of years. Her staff and guests range from monsters to ghosts. She's chipper and cute, guiding a former pirate through his stay. A dragon and her kobolds run the kitchens. There are as many rooms as there are guests. The room has whatever the guest needs. Sounds like a mix of Persona 3 and Maze Runner. A little bit. Still sounds better than Lightlark.
So many things are.
But yeah, like, it's shit like that, right? Like, I'll just go to sleep and I'll be like, I'll have the cool, like, I'll just have a really cool idea and then I'll wake up and be like, oh, I better write that down before I forget. And then I do, and then the list gets longer. I mean, fuck, this one that I'm drawing right now was based on a fucking throwaway joke comment that Aaron made.
Dude, as far as, like, dreams and stuff goes, man, it bothers me as someone who, like, really, like, I guess takes sleep seriously, I guess. That's one way you could put it. It bothers me, that ever since this stomach issue that I've been having and how it has been like ruining my sleep, I have not had too many dreams that I can recall.
I remember most of mine, it's just most of the time they're not particularly anything to write home about.
Well, they probably are, but they're probably more subtle.
Mm-hmm.
But for me, it's like, as someone who, you know, likes to study, like dream interpretation and like the science of sleep and stuff like that, just in my free time, like, it bothers me that I can't get good night's sleeps. I just kind of sit here, it's like, I don't feel, it's not just I don't feel well rested, it's like I don't feel satisfied with the sleep, I guess. That's a way to put it, I guess. I don't know if that's the right way to put it.
I get that, I suppose. It's the one thing that I was blessed with not having a problem with, is I typically sleep pretty well.
I cannot nap to save my life. I mean, I can, but it makes me feel like shit afterwards.
It's like, I'm usually able to sleep just fine, but the past 10 months have been an exception to that rule. God, when I'm finished with it, good God, getting back my sleep schedule is going to be a nightmare.
Don't dream most of my sleep feels like blinking. I have that happen sometimes, yeah.
Also, you have roughly 5 or so dreams a year. Actually, you probably have roughly 5 or so dreams a night, but...
You just don't remember them.
You probably don't. You probably only remember about 5 a year.
So what makes the white family different from the black family?
So, like visually or narratively?
Narratively. Well, obviously they're gonna look different.
Well, so, because there is, aside from, like, the obvious color difference, There is a stylistic difference as well. The white family are bird-themed.
Mm-hmm.
Like, they have feathers and wings and such in their designs, as opposed to the black family that has, like, fur and claws in theirs. Race. Shut up, Justin. But I haven't super decided, other than, like, this is gonna sound weird, but, like, other than, I mean, the obvious that they're from 2 different countries. I haven't really... I haven't exactly figured what I want their, like, specific differences to be yet.
Oh, okay.
So it's mostly just nationality, I guess, is the best way to put it. Also, I probably will end up calling this something to the effect of, like, en passant. Like, I'll name it a pithy chess title, but, like, it's not really a dating sim, per se. This is more of, like, a proper visual novel. What's the story? So, okay. The story kind of changed a little. But not, like, a whole lot. It's fundamentally still the same. Where the idea is basically that you, the player character, are going to be some kind of, like, my brain wants to say diplomat, but, like, a negotiator maybe is a better word, between the 2 kingdoms. So the game is... So the game's gonna function that you play... You play games of chess against each of the members of the house, right? The games get harder with each progressive player, as well as each progressive game. So, like, the easiest game you play will be against the pawn. Will be the first games against the pawns. The hardest game you play will be, like, the 5th game against the kings, right? But you only need to beat the lower level once to get to the higher level, but you have to beat that level 5 times in order to, like, get all of their stuff. And even then, there's certain dialogue options that you'll only have once you've played them more than once. And there's only certain dialogue options that you'll get after playing with certain other characters. So, like, for example, by playing... I mean, we'll go with the obvious. If you play the Black King, you'll get, if you play and beat the Black King, you'll have different dialogue with the White King. So it's basically, it's a game of, the whole concept is that you are you're trying to, like, figure out all of the secrets at play here so that you can use them against every member of both families in order to get them to stop fighting. So it is a game of manipulation, both social and tactical. Because there's also certain dialogue options you can only get if you lose to certain people certain ways or at certain points. It's all about how to find out. It's all about learning to find out everyone's... You've got to find out everyone's secrets, everyone's buttons to push. Because the whole idea was that, like... Because originally it was just going to be a dating game where you tried to date all of them, but, like... The more I thought about it, the more I was like, no, I like the idea of... What's the term? My brain wants to say ludonarrative harmony, but I don't know if that's the right way to phrase that. Of having function meet form, I guess. I was just enamored with this idea of, like... Is there a special conversation if you get a fool's mate against the king or queen? I don't know what that is. I will have to look up some fun, funky, fresh chess terms. But, like... You've gotta, like... Because I love, like... I'm trying to think of the right way to put this. I'm a really big fan of stuff... God, this is always the fucking trick with this shit while streaming, is like, I have the sentiment, but not the way to word it. I'm a big fan of stuff like, say, Amanda the Adventurer, where I like stuff that has, like, a lot of levels, that takes, like, a lot of rotations to figure everything out. Stuff that, like, has a lot of secrets that you have to do subterfuge and fun things in order to discover, right? But I never feel like... well, not never. I very rarely feel like these things do it for a reason other than to, like, have...
Other than to just have it?
Not even other than to just have it, but, like, to have people like Super Horror Bro make a 2-hour video trying to figure everything out. Getting all endings in Amanda the Adventurer. You know what I mean? Like, that kind of shit. Like, it feels like it's there for the sake of being part of the content farm, as opposed to, like, serving a function.
Yeah.
But this is something I like the idea of, because I think it could serve a function. It's something you want to come back to because you're enamored with... because you're interested in seeing all of the dialogue options of knowing all these people's secrets. Because the act of tactfully manipulating these people into telling you all, into spilling their guts to you is just as interesting as the matches themselves, you know?
Yeah. Strip chest, but instead of taking off your clothes, you're having them peel back the layers of barriers that they put up to protect themselves.
Mind the Adventure is a good and disturbing game, and nobody can tell me otherwise. You're allowed to have your own opinions. I'm not gonna rain on your parade. A lot of people seem to like it, and I'm happy for the people that do. I can't even necessarily say that it's like, that I think it's particularly bad, because I don't. It's just not, it didn't ring as empty as something like Poppy's Playtime, for example, where every time I watch somebody play that, every part of my writer spirit cries, and my brain just goes, oh, they made this for money. Like, they don't give a fuck. These motherfuckers don't give a singular shit. But like, the Amanda the Adventurer people clearly care. They've clearly put a lot of, like, time and care and effort into it. So I can't say that, like, it rings hollow or empty. It just didn't... The best way to put it is, it didn't strike the right chord for me. I was like, this is good, but it feels like it's missing something. I think subsequent, like, efforts from that studio, I think will be better. Because, like, I do like a lot of the, I like a lot of the small details. Like, I like in the live action stuff, the FMV shit, I like the way that they went very out of their way to make those sequences look like public access TV. Like, as somebody who lived in a small town, who had, like, small town news channels, that's what that shit looks like. That was clearly made by people who cared and were invested in their concept. So I'm here for it. I just feel like it's not quite enough yet. I feel like with a little more polish and a little more time, I think they'll make something that holds me a little tighter. I also just didn't care for the look.
I'm such a picky bitch. If I don't like something's art style, I'm not gonna want to touch it.
Yeah, it had, the aesthetic's a little cheap, I guess is the best way to put it. And I think that's the idea, so that's why I'm not going to criticize it too harshly, because it was supposed to look like 2000s CG public access show. So it's supposed to look cheap, but when everything else was so lovingly and meticulously recreated, it felt a little off. And there's a couple of sequences I think don't add a whole lot. Like, for example, the doctor bit, I think didn't need to be there. I think it could have had a little bit more... I think they could have done something that had a little bit more relevance, other than, like... Because that one felt like, oh, we're here for the spooky horror scene time now, right? And I feel like that could have been implemented a little better, but otherwise, I quite like it. It's just not for me. I'm also a horror snob, so... I'm very picky.
Hidden is Spider's gay organ should not be counted.
I am Spider's gay organ should not be counted.
I remember.
I have a very refined butthole, as Boone says.
talking about this on a stream some time ago. That it's like I tend to like horror concepts more than I like horror itself.
Mm-hmm. Understandable. A lot of people are that way. And I don't think that's necessarily, like, a wrong way to be. Because, like, the thing about, like, for example, right, I've talked about how my shit is I love, like, for example, I love biomechanical horror. I love the inherent horror, the inherent deep-seated dread of, like, of being, of having flesh and machine, of smashing a computer monitor and having pulsing meat behind it, you know? That's the shit. But, like, I see a lot of stuff that tries to do that, but never in the way that I like. So I'm more enamored with the concept than the execution, and I think a lot of people are like that. Because horror has a lot of cool concepts, but if it doesn't strike with you, then it just isn't quite right.
Well, the thing is it's more on the lines of, like, I am what we call a wuss. I don't do horror well.
Yeah. Susie...
Me and Susie in the same boat.
Susie's also in the Weenie Club.
So I don't really do horror well, but I do like looking at, like, the concepts that get, like, made in horror. Like, for instance, I don't think I could ever watch a Saw movie, but I like a lot of the ideas that, at least the first Saw had, where it was, like, almost, karmatic.
Mm-hmm.
With how those games were set up.
Saw lore is fucking fascinating. The Saw lore runs deep and complex, and I don't. So the Big Daddy from BioShock. Yes! Oh my god, I could go on and on and on about how the books in particular really make how bad the fucking Big Daddies are. How they talk about how,
You have gone on that tirade, actually, on one of my streams.
Yeah.
It was very interesting. It was very, very fun listening to it.
Yeah, they're like, well, because they're, like, inexorably tied together. They are, like, fused and welded into them and then broken and emotionally conditioned to be walking hunks of scrap metal. Like, they're built to be able to survive the crushing depths of the sea, but there's a man in there that they had to break physically and mentally, turning him into soup and then reforming him around the suits, and I have a lot of feelings about it! There's books,
It just makes
there's
Songbird
a book.
even that much more, fucked.
Yes! Because Songbird's a Big Daddy! You find out in Burial at Sea that Songbird is what happened to the other Bookers. Every time they come for Elizabeth, they put them into Songbird. It's why Songbird is so protective of her. Is because it's a Big Daddy full of her fathers. There's one book, and it's incredibly good.
Do you own a copy of it?
I do. I've always been a fan of the concept of forced cyborg forced mechanization is, like, one of my favorite, like, horror concepts. Because, like, it's partly why, fucking cyberpsychosis jumps out at me, is because that's part of it, is, like, the inherent idea of your body ship of Theseusing itself into something completely new against your will, so that your mind doesn't have the idea to compete with the fact that you are now more machine than man. Love that shit.
How do you feel about Nebula from... How do you feel about Nebula from Marvel?
Nebula's up there, especially because... Especially in the scene in, I think it's fucking Endgame, where she's sitting on the rack and just apart, just in pieces. That shit's great. That's the shit I like.
Look, I'm just, because I've been, you know how I've been writing, like, the Terradale stuff, stuff for my characters? I know exactly which one you're gonna gravitate towards.
Probably. You and Robotnik would get along nicely. Well, no, I think it's fucked up, but I just think it's incredibly neat. But there's a lot of, like, horror concepts like that I like. I'm a big fan of, like, for example, I was really hoping Transference was going to be better, because shit like that's really cool.
Transference.
So, the concept of transference was, this computer scientist wants to upload his consciousness into a computer in order to have the concept of living forever. And he uploads his wife and son, and they get a little mangled up. 'Cause spoilers, did you know that brain death is, like, not good for you? Like, even temporarily? Did you know that? Did you know that when your brain turns off for periods of time, when you turn it back on, it typically doesn't work the same? Do you know that the human brain was not meant to be turned off and then turned back on again like a fucking PC?
It's not great.
That was even I didn't even know that was a thing that theoretically could happen.
Mm-hmm. It's
once it turned off, it was. I thought once it turned off, it was just done.
No, so, okay. Fun biochemical facts with Heaton. When you die, like fully, your brain, you enter what is called brain death. Because there's no blood pumping to your brain, there's no, like, electromagnetic currents running in it anymore. So, like, when your heart stops and you start to experience brain death, there is a window of time, I believe it's 3 minutes, off the top of my head, that might be wrong. But there is a window of time in which you can be resuscitated, and it will not cause long-term brain damage. Any time past that, so we'll say it's 3 minutes, anything past 3 minutes where your brain is not getting blood flow or oxygen, you will start to experience permanent brain damage. And I think it's past 10 minutes where you just can't be resuscitated. It's just not possible. Like, your brain just doesn't have enough cells left that are alive and functional, that are healthy enough to be able to function. It's why, when you do certain surgeries, there's a time limit on how long the surgery can last. Because they'll have to, like, turn you off and turn you back on again, more or less. It's also, why when you have brain surgery done, you have to be awake. Is so that if you start experiencing, brain death, if parts of your brain start turning off or are damaged, then, you can know in the moment, instead of, like, just putting a nail in the part of your vision in the part of your brain that controls your vision and then waking up blind. So your brain can technically die temporarily, and you'll be okay, but just not for long periods of time. It's why I'm also a big fan of the concept of, things like necromancy, where when you kill them, they don't come back the same. Because being dead, as people will tell you, is not really an experience you kind of just get over. A lot of people who have had periods where they were temporarily dead have, like, explained that it's, surprisingly, a very deeply traumatic experience. Revivify is a low-level spell. Exactly. Revivify is,
It's why the time limit's a minute, baby!
It's why the time limit's a minute. There's also, like... That's what I thought sleep was. No, your brain doesn't die when you sleep. It just... it goes into, like, autopilot, basically. So think about it like this. Your brain's a computer, right? sleep is like sleep mode on the computer. The computer's still on, stuff is still processing in the background, it's just not active. You can't do anything to it until you boot it all the way back up again, which is waking up. When you die, it's unplugging the computer from the wall. So when you plug the computer back in and turn it back on, it needs to take a second to reprocess, and sometimes files will be lost or damaged in the process. That's brain death. Long-term brain damage period is 4 minutes. I was close. Permanent brain damage will start to occur past that point. I'm pretty sure the limit for resuscitating the brain is 13 minutes? Might have been 12. Don't remember. I was close! I also think it's super neat that, you can have, when you have open brain surgery, A, you have to be awake for the reasons I mentioned, but B, fun fact, I thought this was neat, you don't have any pain receptors in your brain. There's no nerve endings in your brain. Which I think is wild. But there's not.
Oh, there's no pain receptors in the brain? Well, then why do I get chronic headaches? Take that, Heaton.
I think
Why must I suffer?
a coma is also not the same as brain death. It's not, because a coma means that you're alive, so it's your body's still like pumping blood and oxygen into your brain. So your shit's still working, it's just not working as well as it should. The brain is just a fascinating thing. I like learning about it because it's neat. We have this incredibly finely tuned machine built specifically to keep us alive. But if you have like fucking microliters of the wrong chemical pumped into your brain at the wrong time, you just see things. You know what I mean? I think that's nuts. We will stop talking about this because I know Susie's squeamish.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think the brain is cool. The human body is cool. Your millions of... It's always a cool thing to think about is like, the positive motivational quote, right, is like, you're the result of millions of years of finely tuned evolution. You are the most complex machine on the face of the earth. The most complicated living thing that has ever existed.
Aaron's just like, you know what else is cool? Eaton's art.
Thank you. Evolution works on if mostly works. True. We have high int, low whiz. What the fuck, evolution? But like, there's lots of... I've talked about this before, getting back to like, talking about making stuff. Because that's what these streams are about making stuff, right? I don't know... It feels so weird and like... I don't want to use the word pretentious, but like... I can't think of a better one. To say like... This feels like what I'm meant to be doing. But like, truly, I don't think I was built to do anything else. You know what I mean?
I don't think that's pretentious.
Like... I feel like I can't imagine a future where I do anything else. And I'm so enamored with the idea of, like, making things that I don't think I could be... I don't think I could ever be pushed into doing one particular thing forever, either. Like, I think the differences in medium are so interesting as well, right? Like, you have to write a game's script so differently than a television one, more differently than a movie script, differently than a novel, differently than a comic. And I think that, like, the idea of changing form and function to tell all of these different stories that I have that rattle around in my brain, I think is what I was always meant to do. And I think that's why, I mean, it's one of the benefits of my fucking unceasing, unsleepless nights. But, like, I just need... I don't like kvetching about this on stream too much, because, like, there's nothing anybody can do about it, you know? But, like, it's all a question of resources, you know? Because, like, we prop up the one-man project, as well we should. Because, like, fucking luminaries like, Toby Fox should be lauded for all the work that they do. Him, Concerned Ape, fucking... the people who made Celeste. Like, individuals and small teams of 10 or less who, like, who build these beautiful experiences from the ground up are absolutely deserve to be, like, lauded for their accomplishments. Do not mistake what I'm about to say as, like, harumph, but, like, it's always easy to see that there's no... I guess for lack of a better way to put it, there's no middle ground for indies? If that makes sense? 'Cause, like, for example, most of the things that you know that are small teams consist of people who know each other, or people who had ties in the industry beforehand and left for typically very good reasons. Like, but you don't see how difficult it is to get those contacts, or to have those connections, or to do those things. But you don't have... There is no equivalent of the B-grade platformer. Exactly. Exactly. Like, for example, I was talking about this some time ago in regards to making visual novels, right? There's like two levels to it. There's your Dan Salvatos, and then there's your fucking Nitro Chirals, right? Where, like, either it's like a massive multi-million-dollar corporation that does these big, complicated things, or it's a one-man team. So you don't really get a scope of how much it costs to make something like that. Like, how much Doki Doki Literature Club would cost to make if you had to pay somebody to do everything but the writing. Can I get away with... How does the balance on that look? Yeah, that looks fine. So when it came down to, like, looking at... Okay, what do I have to... What would I need to get the things I want to make together? You know? Welcome to the world of Pokemon. My name is Redwood. People refer to me as the Pokemon Professor, but I think I already told you. Hello, Professor Redwood. Welcome. That's why he did it himself. Paying a staff is for rich people. It's true. The act of, like... I like the knight. It's a shame he takes too many L's. But, like, it's always going to be, like, prohibitively expensive to make anything on your own when you don't have decades of experience, you know? Something that a lot of the people who make these things have. Like, a lot of these people have connections and experience and knowledge and know what they're doing. Some of them don't. But, like, if you're somebody like me, with, like, issues with neurodivergency and stuff like dyscalculia, like, literally sitting down and watching Justin work, not having to understand it, unironically gives me a headache. Like, it makes my brain physically hurt to look at. Or be the completionist to do it all yourself at first, then how get a company out of it. It's true. So I'm in the constant camp of having to just kinda sit here and cry. Because I've into the resources nor the connections to do what needs doing. The closest I have to a programmer is Justin, and every time I present him with an idea, he looks at me and makes a face, so... Safe to assume. My ideas are not what we would call practical. And I don't hate... I mean, I've said before, I don't hate my artwork, but, like, it's just not where it needs to be. I feel comfortable in my, like... I feel comfortable in my, like, character designs, per se, right? But, like, not in... but not in my ability to give the, like, emotions or the atmosphere that the things I would like to make require, if that makes more sense. And it might not, because I'm deranged. Yeah. The trick to these things is color balance, kids. You want to have your good value balance. You can't...
Especially when you only have 2 values.
Exactly. I do not believe that my individual illustration work is strong enough to carry something like this.
I mean, I think in terms for this, I think your art style works really well with what you want to do.
I disagree. It gives me less and less hope to ever get my work out there. I'm far too poor to afford any of that, and honestly, my work is the only way I can get past being stuck on government aid. Understandable! Welcome to the club! It's just one of those things, like, it's tough to, like... You shouldn't be defeatist about it, but it's really hard not to be. You know? Like...
That's why you gotta start small.
See, my biggest hurdle is just not having the hardware to do it. Like, if I had the ability to sit down and... Well, hardware and software, I guess, specifically. Because if I had the ability to, like, install and, like, use Blender, I would sit down and learn it. Whenever I had time to, that is. I would sit down and learn it, and then I'd figure out how to put something together myself. But I'm also insane.
You are also insane.
So...
It's truly one of
like
your, it's one of your greatest skills, honestly.
That's usually my thing. It's just like, I don't have the programs to do it. But if I had the programs, I absolutely would try to learn it. Like if I... As another example, something that I would really like to do, is animate the entirety of the doodle art. I'd love to do that. But the way that I'd want to do it would require something along the lines of, you know, Toon Boom. Something that I am far too poor to fucking buy and be able to... I'm far too poor to buy, so I have literally no ability to learn how to use it.
I thought Toon Boom was free.
Don't think so? I'd have to double check, but I'm pretty sure it was really expensive.
I know that one of the big, like, industry softwares was made free recently. Was made open source.
Well, if it is
Bazinga.
Toon Boom, then
Welcome.
it'd have to be really, really recent, because I remember when I last looked at it, it was like, we were looking at a couple hundred, so I was like, I can't do that.
I may also be nuts, so feel free to, you know.
But yeah, no, it's like, for me, that's always been my thing, because it's just, the mantra that I go by is there's nothing to it but to do it.
Mm-hmm, and I respect that.
So it's like, if you want to get something done, you got, like, sometimes you gotta do it yourself, and truly the thing is just to sit down and get started on it.
I have
Yeah.
a funny...
But
I have a
again,
funny meme
I am
to
also
share.
insane.
Share your funny meme.
What is
From
this
Twitter.
meme?
Y'all go to amusement parks and eat funnel cake, and it's a picture of funnel cake and a dude making a frowny face, and someone quote tweeted it saying, "Fun, right in the name. Take your ass to the annoyment park."
I don't like talking about this too much, because, like, it's just, you know, it sucks, it's a downer.
I entered here just to take a little break because I've been working on our little project.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I am not gonna be having fun in the next. How long is that video? 40 plus minutes?
Is it up there now?
What?
Is it up there in that kind of length now? It was quite a few pages.
No, that's not even. No, we're at 74 pages now.
Yeah.
It is gonna get longer.
I can't wait.
Oh, did you find something else?
Oh, yeah. So did you know that, so I've been going back and acquiring all the context necessary, as much as I can, of course, because our subject is as vague as she is arrogant.
Which is pretty fucking vague.
So I didn't realize what she was doing. She's basically made a text-based commentary on the Twitter thread. And the reason why it was so difficult...
On mine?
Yep. That's basically what the DA journal is. Or at least the latter half of it.
Is
But
that
it's difficult.
why it's I was about to say, is that why it's fucking incomprehensible?
No, because she doesn't know how to do text-based commentaries. Because she keeps going on vague side tangents whenever possible.
Literally
Because,
had no idea what she was talking about 75% of the time. It's fucking
Yeah.
soup.
It's gonna be
I
it's gonna
thought
be
the
a
journal was before the video got made.
No. The video I'm talking about is a video that she's citing because guess who I found? Because like she was vague posting about something. I figured out what she was talking about. She had beef with FNGR.
Oh, I'm not surprised.
Yeah, so I mentioned it earlier.
I mean, it's not hard to have beef with FNGR.
No. Because the video, right? It has absolutely nothing to do with anything. But she is like, this woman literally tried to basically be like, oh, I also was in. Is like, this was around the same time as the Spectre drama. She's a liar. It did not. Her situation happened 4 days earlier. She's.
Rollicking start.
Yep. So this whole bit was that FNGR thought she was like an alternative narrator for someone by the name of Dusky Novel or something. And apparently there's some beef like that they did in the Brony analysis community. I don't know. I have to watch about a 50-minute video to find out. I'm not prepared to listen to FNGR ramble for about 50 minutes.
1.5 times that speed.
I don't even know how far that will do me.
It's better than listening to it normally.
Fair enough. Yeah. So, also figured out her constantly being like, "Oh,
I'm depressed about it. I'm sorry." It's just like the whole fucking shit. Part of the reason I don't like talking about it is because it's just a bummer.
Nah. It's just, oof. So, yeah, also, another thing that happened before the Spectre situation was Doodle's video on Puppy Wolf, was it? I think? Where she left that
Puppy
comment.
Howler, yes.
Yes, so that was a day before the Spectre situation went down. Now, so she can't use. Yep. April 17th.
Day before that, or
No, the video.
Comment or
The video that you made. I don't care when it.
did
I don't.
really post that?
Yup. The first video to take
Oh, maybe it's
Spocter was that. Yeah, that was the 18th.
I thought
You were
I
a
thought
day
I
early.
released my Atari video around. I thought I released my Atari video around that time. Pretty sure the Puppy Howler video was out by that point.
It was. It was a day before.
Wild.
Yeah, the timeline is wild, dude. I don't particularly care when Gamer is like, well, I probably shouldn't say their name.
When the subject.
When the subject runs seven,
The specimen.
when the truly a dissection, for it.
This is the bishop.
This is I'm finally gonna get over an hour-long video. If only it was on better terms.
I mean, I don't know. I, for one, cannot wait.
I'm stoked, and I'm in it.
But yeah, so there's a lot to go over. I'm gonna have to like restructure everything in this doc because of that. Because she keeps like sidetracking and going back and forth on on her claims. It's difficult to actually like get the context properly in order. 'Cause, yeah, it's like man, herding sheep is easier.
It's true.
I don't like guess the bit. I guess I could do some editing tricks, but I don't know like how much I can get away with. No, wait, who's the video on? So you see.
So you see.
Got it. Thanks, Aaron.
Well, yeah, the reason why I'm being so cloak and dagger about the subject this time around, it's not entirely because I want to be difficult. I
That is
don't
part
like,
of it, though.
Yes, but I don't like telegraphing what I'm doing because I don't know if you've heard of something called the observer effect.
Hmm.
People tend to change their attitude once they realize they're being watched. And as much as I would love, to eventually amass the reputation of somebody just outright deleting content when they hear that I'm going to be doing a video on them, I can't afford that.
Not for this one.
Not this time. And more importantly, they are under the delusion that Doodle here is watching their every move.
And in this case, chat, delusion's the word.
Yeah, because I have not been paying attention to them. The thing is, right, this individual, this specimen, has been talking mad shit about me since 2017. I did not even speak of them. I did not even, like, murmur their name until last year.
No, but you're like the boogeyman out to get them. You've been...
Ironically.
You've been in their closet, licking every single one of their fucking fruit snacks for, like, years.
Apparently.
Stop licking their fruit snacks, Susie.
Yeah, and stop. It's like, yeah, and stop sending your mob after them while you're at it.
Yeah, all of the never times you've done that.
Yeah.
I can't believe Susie's been licking the Scooby Doo fruit snacks.
Look, I wouldn't. Look, I don't need to send a mob out. I would do the video myself if it wasn't for you two, or you three actually, because all three of you were in that project, right?
Yep.
Point is, I would do the video myself.
Nah,
I don't need to send anyone after them.
I'm gonna be 110% with you after we're finished. She's gonna wish it was just you.
We will be sending her directly to the Shadow Realm.
Yeah.
Because in fairness, she fucking deserves it.
To be fair, I mean, she's She pretty much dug herself there already. The LGBT community sent her to the Shadow Realm back in 2012. It's like back in 2020.
I'm the shit that I have read this human being say is wild and hilarious, were it not quite so fucking serious.
We can't cover it all. There's so much.
There's way too much to cover that's just not... that would just get fucking repetitive.
Even still, there's only so many times to say, that's not what happened, you did that, it's your fault, you should have left the people alone, slurs are bad.
I wish we had to say slurs are bad less times than we have to say slurs are bad.
Fun fact.
I can't believe that motherfuckers are really out here thought policing me, and I'm not allowed to just call people. I can't believe I can't just call people the F slur anymore.
Yeah, I'm so politically correct these days.
These fucking thought crimes telling me that
Like
I can't say the fucking F slur.
Like, it's hilarious. You're... Ironically enough, it's like, she's bigoted in all facets, but mainly against the LGBT community, that it overshadows all her other forms of bigotry. Which is kind of impressive.
I can't wait for her to,
You're not gonna see me get particularly heated, but reading some of that shit just was like, I can't believe this person is capable of existing.
You'll see me get heated, though.
Well,
That's what I'm here for.
your default is heated in some of these circumstances.
Listen, I'm here to be the anger translator. That's my job.
And boy howdy. To give fun facts. By the way, I'm taking your bit.
I'm
gonna be hijacking your bit.
Feel free to hijack my bit. I hope you're all ready to learn some very interesting hippopotamus facts. There's so many points where she just, like, says shit that is, like, objectively something she has criticized earlier in the fucking document. Where she'll be like, oh, doing X is bad, and then can you believe that they criticized me for doing X? And it happened so many times that I was like, you know what? In order to just, like, elucidate you on how many times this happened, but not say the words, you're a hypocrite, over and over and over again, I just start reading off hippopotamus fun facts.
Trickamus?
Wasn't it originally a Ponder bit? Because I know Ponder did
Oh yeah, I
something
got
similar.
you.
It's like trick.
No, I know, I got you.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yo,
Google.
buddy,
Yeah.
buddy,
Set
can
a timer
I?
for 2 minutes.
But yeah.
Well, I
Brooke,
promise to do my best.
it was. But yeah, Brooke, it was a Ponder bit, then it was a Musha bit, then it was a me bit, and I guess now it's going to be a Heaton and Aaron bit.
I tossed one in
It's a
there
good
as
bit.
well.
I don't know what to tell you.
Also, Trickamist, you are now entitled to a free discount at the Gift of Prophecy bar.
Yeah, I was about to say, I hope you like your gift of prophecy that you got from fucking Apollo. Kissy! She's napping in the sunlight, little baby. All curled up. So sweet, little baby. Listen, I like you, Heaton, but your default emotion is heated. This is true. I'm a very passionate person. Wait, what did I predict? Wait. Don't worry about it. It's fine. It's fine.
Yeah, it's like, don't worry.
I'm just upset that we don't get to make our joke. I'm upset that I don't get to call her British unironically.
I mean,
She's Australian, so she's British ironically. Oh god damn it! I clipped down the wrong layer. God damn it. There we go.
That's not fine. You can't tell me I have the gift of prophecy and then not clarify. Don't worry about it. It's funnier if we don't tell you.
It's just a funny coincidence that this is the accent you picked is all.
Anyhow.
Yeah.
So...
I've been thinking off and on about, cause like, okay, Google, stop! I've been talking off and on with people about crowdfunding to make stuff. But the problem with that is that you need something to show off in order to do that. And I don't have the money to do that, so fuffer.
So Justin wants me to share something he had to deal with yesterday.
Oh god, yeah, go for it.
Oh, did Justin tell you about it?
I think this is the same thing we talked about yesterday.
About his brother?
Yeah. About about Wormwood?
I've asked Justin for the exact wording, but Justin's brother, he was talking more about the Wormwood shit and trying to debate Justin about it, which, one, that's not something you debate over. You don't debate over SA allegations. Justin said, no, I'm not here to debate that shit. Stop. I told you previously to stop. And at one point, Justin has sent me a screenshot, so I'll read that out loud. At one point, the conversation goes like this, Justin first. To you and all other debaters, it might be fun for you to stand on these hills, but maybe you should consider if those hills are even worth the fun, like the devil's advocate in the class for the Nazis. Oh, I'll argue for the Nazis fully knowing that they are wrong, just to make sure your arguments against Nazis are actually sound. Anyway, Justin replies with such a great value added to the world. The silence is palpable.
What the fuck do you say to that?
Go to jail. Do not pass go. Do not collect $200.
Wow.
There's a lot.
Yes, because telling a minority, he wants to, like, check to make sure that their arguments are sound. Which is like, no, you can't go to Aaron and say, like, in debate over his rights and be like, well, your logic isn't sound enough. That's not gonna matter to a racist, my guy.
It's fun fact, racism, most forms of bigotry are not rational.
All forms of bigotry aren't rational.
I don't even...
Did you know? Like, bruh,
I don't even have a joke for that.
Like, I don't have a joke, but just an observation that, like, a lot of issues that we're facing with now is because white America decided to dismantle every good thing it had because they had to share it with black people. Public pools, public education, everything. Ooh.
Yeah, there's no debating. Right, you can't, like, it's fucking sucks that we have to debate for rights to even occur when, no, that's not something you fucking debate. What sort of, like, authority do you grant to be the king of the debate club to be like, no, your arguments for your own rights aren't, like, sound enough?
Like, it boils down... Like, every one of these arguments dies the minute that you look this person in the eye and go, do you really think that... do you think that I deserve rights? Because if the answer is yes, then there's no more conversation.
Alright, I'm back.
And if there's a well but, then I don't want to talk to you. Go away.
He's not... Justin's brother's not a bad dude, but he's incredibly obstinate, and I can't be around him very much. And he's a debate bro.
Listen. After that sentence, I don't know about that first part. I don't know a lot of good people who play devil's advocate for Nazis.
And there's just like nothing, there's like no value added. There's no value to be gained from that.
He's related to Justin, so he can't be all bad, but boy. Boy.
Oh, no. Just because you're related to someone doesn't mean you have any of their good traits.
True.
He's not a bad person. I'm not gonna claim that he is. I just think he's fucking wrong.
He's just a little dumb. Also, he's related to me, so he probably sucks. Justin, shut up. Justin, shut the fuck up. Listen,
You wouldn't say that about your sister.
Absolutely not.
This is the same man who, when I told him that about issues I was having with him running Lost Mine of Phandelver, refused to admit that he made a bad call, and really take responsibility for it because he can never be wrong.
I didn't nap through most of the stream, I promise.
We won't tell.
We won't tell. No one will tell.
No one will ever know.
Nobody has to know.
Nobody has to know. Don't say blood means they're good people. I just don't want to sit here on stream in front of people and in front of Justin and be like, yeah, your brother's a bad person.
I mean, Justin told me to tell you to get a reaction from everyone.
Yikes.
You're really gonna throw... You know what? Fair enough. For those takes, yeah. Drag them.
Completely and totally unrelated to what we are talking about. I love the fact that, like, out of all of the TikToks that I have uploaded, Team Galactic is Smelly is the one that has, like, the actual numbers in comparison.
It is unreasonably funny.
It is so fucking funny.
It's really...
It's just, fucking Brooke showed it to me, and I just started laughing so hard, and I'm like, it's not that funny. Why do I think it's so, why am I laughing so hard? Attention everyone. Team Galactic is Smelly. Thank you. Damn, you're right. Team Galactic is...
I saw the intercom there and I'm like, I have to make a bit out of it.
Man, you really did sleep through this stream.
I have no loyalty to the people who would unironically go, no, I'll be on the side of the Nazis for the debate. Someone has to be devil's advocate. You know, it's true, but like...
No, it's only to make sure that your arguments are strong enough to defeat the Nazi shit. You're not gonna out-debate a Nazi. A Nazi's just gonna go out and be bigoted. You're not changing their minds without deep deprogramming.
Listen, I stand by, alright? Like, if it's alright to dunk on him, then I'll do so, but like, I just don't want to be sitting here on live stream in front of my audience and go, did you know that Justin's brother sucks? Like, I don't know.
Etiquette is like on-screen etiquette. Fair enough. It's a respectable position.
I have very few people who I would do that to publicly on live stream. One of them is Brooke's mom. Check your rhetoric is wrong. Sure, glad you think so highly of yourself that your white straight cis ass can correct my anti-racist rhetoric. Listen, I think 100% that part of this is because you would have to tell me how many queer and or black folks this man has interacted with. Because the mental image, no offense, of your brother is that he would, I mean this in the nicest way possible, he would not last 5 minutes in Aaron Tempest's presence. I think being in the same room as Aaron would kill him instantly.
Oh, no, it wouldn't, because he can never be wrong. He'll never admit to being wrong ever.
It has nothing to do with
infuriating.
It has nothing to do with being wrong, and everything to do with I feel like his power level is not nearly high enough.
Oh, it's not. It's why I don't play D&D with him anymore. It's like, I can't.
I don't know if you think that highly of me or that less of him.
Pretty highly of you, honestly.
Trickamus is trying to argue that Team Galactic is not indeed smelly.
A world with... He's trying to build a world without spirit and without smells.
Cyrus is a clean freak, come on.
Unironically, he would be.
You like old genocidal men? Trick,
He's only 27!
Is that what I'm hearing?
He's only canonically 27!
I know what I said.
Truly the reverse of Lucemy. Truly the reverse of Lucemy.
Wait, if I'm missing something, is there something wrong with Brooke's mom? Listen, we're not gonna get into it, because it's not the time or place, but yes.
It's not great. Would I use the word abusive? No, but...
The fact that you have to preface that ain't great.
I don't want people assuming.
You like old men, you know, men 1 year younger than me, those old folks.
Not abusive, but not great.
I think he's a dumbass, he's just not smelly. Playing a lot of devil's advocate for somebody who doesn't want to fuck Cyrus. I'm just saying.
What?
Cyrus isn't physically smelly, but ideologically he's very smelly.
Look, the whole bit anyway, Trickamist was in the clip after you hear Cyrus's whole fucking speech in the Team Galactic HQ, you are able to get up to where the microphone is at. So I just walked up to the microphone and was like, is this thing on? Team Galactic is smelly. That is all. And I just walked the fuck away from the microphone.
I've acquired a totally legal copy of Clip Studio Paint version 1. I hope that you enjoy it. I like it.
I'm not
also,
getting
Susie, 2 shinies?
Oh, in my Emerald playthrough? Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not getting involved in that conversation. I am, in fact, biased.
Dude, if it wasn't for the fact that I have zero idea how to draw Pokemon, I would totally just draw my Sona dressed in like the different trainer outfits with my team surrounding me.
You gotta break them down. You just gotta break them down into their shapes. That's how I figured out how to do it.
I think I made her head too small. I need to work on...
Actually, I would argue that most of Team Galactic are just being gaslit. Most, if not, anyone whose name isn't Cyrus is getting gaslit in Team Galactic. Because nobody actually knows what Cyrus is up to. Everyone has bits and pieces, but nobody has the full picture except Cyrus.
Yeah, that's better.
Like, most of the grunts think that they're running an energy company. They are truly space cadets.
I'm going to start gaslighting you. What? What? You said you were going to start gaslighting me. I didn't say that.
Basically.
No, what was it? I heard a joke, I want to say this morning, in, like, a video, where it's just like, what you want to do is you want to start walking up to someone, just randomly and go, I am not gaslighting you. Just unprompted.
Apropos of literally nothing.
Pokemon gang war starts now. Okay.
Team Rocket wins.
Yeah, I think they're the ones with the most staying power. Hey, hello, Sarah Des.
Hello, guys. I couldn't help but notice you were talking about evil teams in Pokemon.
We summoned him, fuck!
Well, it just so
I realized
happens
that
I'm
would
starting
summon
my
him.
own evil team in Pokemon. We're called the Anti-Smoliv Preserve. Our goal is to eradicate the Pokemon Smoliv.
Why? My son!
Okay, but consider for a moment, Olive's more like bad.
No! You leave my son alone!
Okay. Yeah, I will give you an ultimatum. If you evolve it into a Dolliv, I'll leave it alone.
I plan to, but leave the babies alone!
I'm fine with the final stage. It's just Smoliv.
Why do you hate... How can you hate Smoliv? Also, yes, Guzma is a boy fail. But, like...
Oh yeah, Guzma's absolutely a boy failure, affectionate.
That's like his whole motivation.
He is...
No,
Guzma
Sarah
is baby girl, but we're not killing Smoliv! Fuck you!
Sarah
Okay,
just really does not like olives.
look, it's part of my tragic backstory and everything.
I thought, don't you mean your incident?
I mean, they're not necessarily separative. They can be synonymous.
Is this part of...
I just
Are olives part of the incident?
Kind of.
I went back to look at my Pokemon teams again after Brooke brought up like the fact that I had 2 shinies and Emerald. I see fucking Pink's comment again, which I thought was just really funny.
Which was?
Interesting doodle tones. Interesting.
Like Pink Robot's comment is, I noticed your teams become more and more dominated by female Pokemon as you progress through the generations. Coincidence? I believe not.
I'm here for Pink.
Pink
All part
Robot.
of the agenda.
Pink Robot's truly the wild
I have the
card.
streamer's backing, I win. Hating Smoliv is the equivalent of hating Snom.
Okay, no, there's a difference.
There's
Snom
really...
is based.
What? Other than the fact that he bears a passing resemblance to a hated vegetal, why do you hate... What have you to hate about Smoliv?
Okay, I'm gonna be honest, my stepdad paid me to eat an olive when I was like 8 or 9. It was the worst experience of my life, and I refuse to let go. I am, in fact, this is the one thing I'm gonna be spiteful about. I'm gonna be real.
And you're taking it out on the boy? The baby boy?
But I am, in fact, gonna take it out on the children, yes.
Why would you not take it out on your father? The man objectively to blame.
Well, okay, first of all, stepfather, and second of all, well, fuck, I don't know. Maybe I could take control of my destiny again.
Take
Take
control.
control of your destiny.
Destiny.
Don't blame something that didn't do anything wrong.
I mean, like, the whole point of this was that it was an evil team. I mean, like, it's nothing more evil. I don't know what you're arguing here, guys.
Well, if we
There's
agreed
better
with
ways
him, then
to
it wouldn't be an evil team, would it?
There's better ways to be biased against olives.
I mean, like,
Well, I mean, I'm down for suggestions if you really want.
Feed them to the Smolives!
Are you suggesting cannibalism?
That'd be pretty fucking evil, wouldn't it?
I'm evil, but Jesus Christ.
Just
I hate mushrooms as
continue
food,
the
but I
fucking
find...
anti-olive propaganda. You don't have to include Smoliv in that. because it's a sapient, sentient creature that's just baby and did nothing wrong. But you can absolutely just continue with your anti-olive propaganda.
I love Justin. I hate mushrooms as food, but if a sapient being took the form of one, I wouldn't suddenly become genocidal. The first thing I pictured under this, like, context of Pokemon is Justin just drop kicking a fucking fungus. Just
Okay,
fucking
you know what?
punting it over our back fence.
You know what? I might have to commission the Charlie Brown skit, but I'm Charlie Brown and the small is the football.
Do not kick him! He is baby!
No, I'm talking about the one where, like, the other person picks up the football and then I fall on my ass like an absolute idiot.
That'd be kind of funny.
Heavens above.
Alright, now that my justified hatred is out of the way, I'm gonna go back to my anti-Twitter grind set.
Cool?
It's always just one thing or another with you, huh?
Listen, if I can go a whole day without opening Twitter once...
Just block it.
I thought for a split second you were gonna just say listen and then leave.
You know you can block, like, your internet access to websites, right?
You can.
And take apps off your phone.
Yeah.
Well, I know that.
Yeah, you can do that.
This is about willpower, Aaron.
I need...
Why
If I
would you...
cannot have
Alright.
the mental fortitude to not go on Twitter, what's the point?
That's...
You want to know what you want to? Because like, here's something that has actually helped me be less distracted. Set up two-factor authentication that requires you to plug in a code from like an authentication app on your phone. Log out of your Twitter, and then like leave your phone somewhere else, and then you'll just like allow your like laziness to not wanting to bother to get up to help you not fucking get distracted by the Twitter.
You know what? That's smart.
You...
My method whenever I need to get away from Twitter is I just close the private browser, because I'm always signed in a private browser on Twitter, because I know if I'm signed in on my main browser, I'm never gonna look away. I'm never looking away. So
Baron,
I have mine set up where I have to sign in through a private browser, and since I always have two-factor authentication for obvious reasons, it's almost as if I'm a target or something. Yeah, it tends to become more of a hassle to sign into Twitter.
Oh, yeah. Now, I was gonna say, speaking of Doodle being a target, you mind if I just say my take real quick?
Sure.
If you're transphobic, you're weak.
Agreed!
It's true.
Like, objectively speaking.
can't power scale out of those allegations.
Also, yes, Daedalus, Slurpuff is a puppy. Slurpuffs are dogs. They're puppies.
There's only two classifications. I believe. I haven't seen that guy on my For You page. I think he said they're either all dogs.
Lizards. It's
Or
lizards or
rep-
dogs.
Yeah, it's lizards or dogs.
That's it. All Pokemon are either lizards or dogs.
There's no in between.
What about the birds?
Lizards.
Lizards.
Yeah, have
Huh?
you seen Charizard?
Shut up.
I don't know what to tell you.
What would the... Okay, what are the classifications for these lizards and dogs then?
Is it a lizard or is it a dog?
Which is
What does it
Pikachu?
matter?
Is Pikachu a lizard or a dog?
Dog.
How are
Yeah.
you get? What? Is this like mindset? What are we talking about?
Oh, I can see where Heaton's coming from. Pikachu's
Right?
a dog.
I can't!
What? Like, it's got the
Dog!
energy of a dog.
Yeah, dog.
Like dog energy?
Yeah.
Then just say that. Just-
Well, I don't want to.
No.
It's funnier to say dog or lizard.
It's a binary. If they're not lizard, they're dog. Exactly. Or if they're not dog, they're lizard. Like, Aaron, this isn't hard.
Like, you're the scientist here. I figured you'd catch on pretty quick.
You have to, like, give me a hard one.
James asks, what's Jinx?
Jinx is a dog.
Wait a second!
Beedrill's a lizard.
Delmise.
I'm so unbelievably confused.
Don't worry about it.
I somewhat get it, and I hate it.
I
No,
don't.
lizard. You would think dog, because precious baby, but you would be wrong. Lizard. Like a tongue? That's a lizard. Bulbasaur? Lizard. What's a dragon? A lizard! This is... You guys are so... You're giving... You gotta, like... You're so fucking weak. You've gotta, like, actually try. Think outside the fucking box.
Yeah,
Knuckle.
Voltorb.
Voltorb?
Yeah, I'm the guy failing
Voltorb's
to
a
design
lizard.
a wizard.
What about Minecraft? What about the Pokemon Minecraft?
What about the Pokemon Minecraft? The Pokemon Minecraft is a dog.
Yeah.
Joltik.
Joltik's a dog.
Galvantula?
Galvantula is also a dog. Klefki's a lizard. Registeel is a lizard.
Sounds so arbitrary.
You know what? You know who sounds arbitrary? Not us.
That's it, I'm grabbing my mallet! This stream needs to be corrected!
Tinkaton.
Tinkaton, dog. The stupid bell. Oh, Chingling? Chingling's a lizard.
Gallade.
Polygon's a lizard. Mewtwo's a lizard. Wooloo's a dog. Gallade is also a lizard. I asked Heaton what's Heaton and she avoided it. Sus, I'm a lizard.
Where,
Naturally.
Unknown lizard.
where do these classifications come from?
Vibes.
Oh, so I'm never gonna get it.
Okay. I'm gonna be honest, Heaton. I thought for a second you were referencing the Jello Apocalypse video where there was just a headcanon that Wes just thought every Pokemon was a dog.
Oh, that's a good idea for a stream, James. James says Pokemon Smash or Pass stream, but it's a dog or lizard.
No, that's great.
I'm not
Oh,
sure.
Professor Lambio, welcome,
Let's
welcome.
go, Professor Labio!
If it's freaking vibes, then no, I can't do this shit. I will never understand it.
Make Tinkaton blush with all the level of bonk I'm delivering onto you. You have not yet been able to prove me an argument that I'm wrong. Mr. Mime, lizard. Disconcertingly,
Oh, what?
Mr. Mime is a lizard.
Like it's like I still don't even understand like how I give off the vibes that I apparently give off. I don't fucking understand that shit.
What vibes do people say you radiate?
Farfetch'd
Okay,
dog.
so it's one of two boxes, Aaron, and there is overlap, so it's more of a Venn diagram. But point is, people who either are a fan of my content or like just a fan of my work or whatever, or they're my friends, either put me in one of two overlapping categories. Either they think I'm a furry or they think I'm a lesbian, and there is in between.
Ah, I see.
I understand the latter, not really the former. Mawile
Yeah,
is a lizard. Arceus is a lizard. The tree baby, the baby form. Phantump is a dog, but Trevenant's a lizard. I still haven't gotten an answer for missing no lizard.
I'm pretty sure the fur thing is
Obviously.
just a bit that has gone way too long.
There is no arguing that this nonsense only bonk. You can bonk me all you want, but it doesn't make me wrong.
You cannot deny a wizard, no matter how hard you want it to be, dog.
Unknowns
However-
are lizards.
However, I get the lesbian thing. I guess we could make it Zephyric, but like, come on.
But the point is,
Thank you for the
point
follow.
is, people either put me in the box. people either assume that I'm a furry, or they assume that I'm a lesbian, or they assume that I am some mix of both.
Both Tangela and Darkrai are dogs.
You can't look at me.
Cresselia.
You cannot look at me and then look at your Twitter likes and look at me again and not understand.
Creselia's a
No,
lizard.
I'm with Aaron on this one.
Dog or lizard, there's two types of
You can like
Pokemon.
art without it being thirsty.
Yes, it does. The strong rule over
Yes.
the weak. You can like lots of things without it being thirsty. It's called being sapphic.
No, I was gonna say the car wash image begs to differ.
I thought Susie was a lesbian.
See? It's one of the
point.
two.
You can
There
be.
is overlap. There are people who think that I am both, but it is one of the two.
I don't think that you're sexually attracted to women. I think you're just like women pretty.
There's
Yeah,
they
yeah,
call
no, like I'm
platonic
not.
stupid.
Yeah, no,
Exactly.
I'm not sexually attracted to men, but I can look at Karia from The World Ends With You and be like, oh, hum.
Same. Wouldn't have sex with him, but I understand the appeal of Leon's sex, Kennedy. Brooke just left. Brooke cannot take it. Could not take
She
dog.
couldn't handle it. She couldn't handle dog.
Yeah, so Daedalus is falling under the middle category, the middle box.
Knew Susie was ace, so I always thought she
See,
wasn't
I-
looking for relationships. She is ace, but we keep making the joke. And we keep making the joke, and we keep being, you know? I'm Ace Arrow, but I think Heaton's Elder God form is hot. Thank you. Appreciated, as I am the same. What constitutes furry vibes? They'll all be real. I also thought Susie was a lesbian, too.
That's just how it is. Shrug.
That's why Chris wants him to prolong the Redfield bloodline. So, okay, hear me out. Chris Redfield says that, like, Leon needs to fuck Claire in order to prolong the Redfield bloodline, right? Fair. Cool. I get it. Why can't Chris prolong the Redfield bloodline? Chris can fuck more bitches in a couple of hours and get all of them pregnant, whereas Claire can only be pregnant the once. So hear me out. The fact that it needs to be Claire implies one of four things. 1, Chris Redfield is a homosexual and does not fuck women. 2, the Redfields are actually Jewish, and therefore the woman needs to be able to pass along their family name and their bloodline. 3, Crest Redfield has done so many steroids that he is incapable of getting a woman pregnant. Or 4, some combination of 1, 2, and 3.
That sure was a sentence I heard today.
That was not a sentence. That was a theorem. That was a theorem.
There's your fucking... that's my game theory.
Hello, Internet. Welcome
to game theory.
We're going to see whether or not William Afton was actually Barney the dinosaur all along.
The purplest of men. It doesn't get more purple than him.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
One of these days, I'm gonna make an April Fool's Day video that's just like a parody of like. So you see, the War of 1812 was a very devastating war that affected these countries very hard. That's why in Barney the Dinosaur.
Did you see? We were watching Youngtown's new video of like top 10 Easter eggs that you didn't notice in Super Mario, and I think it's I think it's number 3. That's like the Battle of Gettysburg, and I just broke. I just started losing my fucking mind.
No, that's great.
Chris is gay, but the joke's on him, so is Claire. Option 4 is one hell of a theory I haven't played yet. Now I'm gonna go into it with that in my brain. Wait, Heaton is purple. I am purple. My hair is also purple. It's why my opinions get discarded frequently.
No, it's...
So I just look in the chat. And I see Emma says, "Gotta be honest, there was a point in my life where I thought Susie was a Homestuck fan." I know basically next to nothing about Homestuck.
Susie doesn't have the aura of a Homestuck. As a former Homestuck, I can tell you comfortably.
You know what? All
Did
makes
I-
sense now.
Did I think about
Well,
have I thought about asking my model artist to give me a Homestuck alt outfit where I turn gray, my horns become candy corn shaped, and I have an outfit for it? Maybe. I've thought about it.
Dude, look, all I know about Homestuck is, Juggalos are canon, and there's something to do with a bucket.
No, you don't know how deep the Juggalo lore runs in Homestuck.
I've been told I would like Homestuck.
They're the president.
I'm gonna be honest.
I'm gonna-
All I know about Homestuck is that apparently Vriska is based.
As far as,
That's a joke. Vriska's never been right a moment in her life. Anyone who identifies as a Vriska Kinney is not to be trusted.
But no, when it comes to cringe fandoms, I think the closest that I got to was Hitalia.
Same.
I like to try to forget those days.
So do I. So do I.
The
Vriska
only other
did
thing
nothing
I know
wrong.
about-
Vriska did a lot of things wrong.
No.
How many
No.
war crimes?
She put Tavros in a fucking wheelchair.
That's a pretty big war crime.
Keaton, has Yoon gotten to the point where they were where they threaten you to trick you into watching like Hitalia with them?
No. I'm gonna put it like this. The things that Yoon knows about my Hitalia phase run so deep that I'm immune. And that's shit you can't pry out of me on my deathbed.
Fair enough. I wouldn't try to.
I don't even know what my cringe. I don't interact with fan bases all that much, actually.
You don't
that's-
because
that's-
you're class. What is Hitalia? Okay, so anyway, the stream's over. We're gonna go raid Vaughn. We're gonna go raid Vaughn Ishii.
Now let's go Vanishi.
I love how we went
Alright.
20 minutes over time talking about lizards and dogs, but that's the question that instantly ends the stream.
We're
Yeah, don't worry
gonna we're gonna send you over to the Pigeon Post office. Tomorrow on May the 4th, we're going to start playing Jedi Fallen Order again. And then
That makes sense.
And then next week, resuming on there's not gonna be Tarragon Insurrection on Saturday, because the Elder Giant will be in town, and so we have to be hosts. But I do plan on streaming Saturday night, so we'll probably play either Dredge or Fear and Hunger. So I will see you then. Goodbye!